Jeff Bridges.
Hang on. Did Jeff Bridges, was he in, was he in, what's the film with...
Bambi? Yeah, he was. Go for it.
Let me think.
Flash down.
We are flashing it, epping it,
Fairway
three-wooding it.
Epic Flash.
Yes.
Have you ever flashed on a fairway before?
Once or twice, maybe.
Coach Lockie in the house.
Yeah, just here to check over everything.
You're just overseeing the procedures.
No negative comments, please.
No negative comments. You're not going to hit it then. So we're going to test the Epic Flash Fairway against the Sub-Zero Fairway. Show you the comparison of numbers, those kind of ideas, and give you an idea of which one you might want to buy or not. All indoors today, Dan, because it's
all indoors. It's a bit cold, isn't it?
And a little bit damp. So let's see what you've got. We're going to start with the dry ball testing.
Yeah. So this is the standard flash.
Standard flash to kick us off. Looks then, Dan, before we go into the tech, it's got everything similar to what we see in the driver.
In the driver, yeah.
What are you feeling with that?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's just the right size for me. They tend to sometimes come a little bit smaller in their profile, but I think Callaway have got it absolutely spot on for this particular range.
Cool.
Nice leading edge, a little bit of that lipstick on the back there.
Yeah.
That little white line just frames it, and then obviously their sort of trademark little arrow V thing there on the front.
A little bit of the carbon coming through as well.
that is nice.
Do you reckon that's actually real or a pattern put on? There's my question to you.
I reckon
never thought about that.
No, I reckon that's real, and they've just glossed over it.
So you reckon they've painted and then they take paint off to show carbon?
I think they've sprayed. I reckon there's a bit of carbon already there, and when they've sprayed that, I think they've given it a nice little detailing of spray.
The cynical side of me thinks that's a pattern, but I don't. I don't know.
I think that's carbon.
That's carbon,
and then they do a light spray to a thick spray. I reckon.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thanks, leader.
Matt knows.
Oh my goodness.
Kick left.
Oh, dispersion 1 yard.
Two shots.
Get your head round that. We didn't get the first shots. That's your first shot, I'm afraid, Dan.
That's
alright. That's the first
and you're set up as a driver on there, are you?
Yeah, but that's just I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Sound-wise, Dan, how's it sounding?
Oh my god.
Did you line that again?
Yeah, I've lined it again.
That's hitting it. That's landing it. Oh! He's ripping it.
I can see why Matt likes to use these.
Yeah.
Nice glove as well.
What do you think of the sound?
Yeah, I think acoustics-wise, I think they've got it pretty good on this one. Not too tinny, certainly not thuddy. Yeah, it works for me. Works for me.
Right, Dan's going to keep collecting, then I'm going to hit, then we're going to go to Sub-Zero. Before we do, let's go and look at the tech of both of these two fairway woods. So the Flash and the Sub-Zero head have similar features. So both feature jailbreak technology, as these bars at the bottom, joining top and bottom of the face. We've seen it in the driver for many years now, which is trying to strengthen in places where they need to keep that ball speed up across those different parts of the club face. Both faces using artificial intelligence, with the Flash face again trying to optimize balls from different parts of that face, but taking the engineers out and using the supercomputer, as Callaway call it, to try and get the best face they can make. Both golf clubs have the Carpenter cup face design as well. Everything they're doing is just because centered hits are kind of there, are trying to keep your ball speeds up from everywhere they can on this face. Don't be miffed by that though. We're not talking right to the edges, just as far as we can move away from wherever the center of gravity is for the club. Again, both clubs feature the Align grip, which works in conjunction with the new hosel, so you still get all the adjustability of the hosel. It's just smaller and lighter. They're saving weight in here and a little less imposive maybe down at the ball, but a slightly new designed neck here as well. And for your Sub-Zero, you have a 14 gram and a 2 gram weight that you can switch around again to try and dial in the perfect spin number. So you have got the potential to put the 14 gram at the front and bring the spin on this club down lower than you'd get out the standard Epic Flash. So we're getting all the same tech that we're getting in the driver.
We are, I think, on this.
Which often in a fairway wood it takes a the standard way is another generation for it to come through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get the jailbreak, which I'm happy to see. You get the artificial intelligence face, which do you know, is fine. Do you know what I think about tech, right? Don't get in there. What?
Nothing.
What are you giggling
I'm
at?
not laughing at Eddie. You carry on. You're doing well.
If it's tech, right? I don't believe any of you are asking why. Who's asked? Am I the only person in the world that asks why? Like, jump off that cliff. Why? Why do you want me to jump off that cliff? Do you not ever ask why?
What I would do if someone said jump off that cliff.
I don't think you even understand. I'm having a conversation with myself. Right, there's tech, right?
Explain more detail.
Well, I understand tech as a general rule, and if I
Yeah.
don't, I ask the question and they explain it to me, or I read the buff
Yeah.
or the guff, and I think, yeah, I get what they're saying. Okay. I cannot explain to you how this face works, and I hate that. And you should hate that, because if it's tech that I feel if it's tech I can't explain, is it really a thing? Is I will question. How can they? If you've seen any of the videos we've done on strike, if I'm someone who's fading it, drawing it, I'm hitting it in different places. How can this be equally as good for all those strikes?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I understand what you're saying there. I understand that. Do most golfers, should we say, do they just like it going a bit further?
Yeah, I understand that bit,
Yeah.
but
Or more control, or whatever they're looking for.
yeah. Like, it doesn't stop me playing. Like, I don't go, I can't hit that stern, stand it. Just walk down the fairway, going like that. No.
Don't get it. Don't get the tech. I'm moving on.
I don't get this. I want persimmon.
How does it look, anyway?
Bloody lovely.
Yeah.
Looks bloody lovely. Don't
Oh no!
Don't you
get it
Don't you
straight
start
as well.
getting inside
get right.
me.
Get right.
Oh.
That's a straight one, man. That
was a good shot, man, wasn't it?
Very nice
Good
shot.
shot.
It's great to watch.
I would game this freeway. It's beautiful. The leading edge I like the size, like you said. It's loaded with tech, which is fine, and if that face is cleverer than me because it's a supercomputer, which it obviously is, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I just like to know why. That's the coach inside of me. So when a student says, yeah, but how does that work, and you can't answer it, I hate that. That's really what I'm saying.
Okay. Going back then in
'Cause
time,
the world
you
is full of golf professionals, experts that blag. Basically, giggling quietly behind camera there. But it's true. How does that work? Wow, it's artificial intelligence. So
Yeah,
it's
they
much-
do say,
so-
I don't know.
Yeah.
do they?
Have you ever talked to a scientist? How does that work?
Don't know.
I don't know. I didn't study that. They don't blag it. I want to know.
but
I want
most-
to know. So
but-
I will talk to Callaway more and see if they can explain it in a way that I can then explain
So
it.
you gamed the old Epic 3-wood, did you?
Yes. I started with the sub.
Okay, moved into the
I
normal.
went to this. Because again, the sub just feels too drawery,
Yeah.
up too cutty. I can't do that. I like my freewood to turn a bit
Turn
left.
over.
I don't like it losing to the right too often.
So think back now. How does this now compare to that one? Very similar looks.
Yeah, I'm calling it identical.
Okay.
I'm calling it, to me, very
So
similar
looks-wise,
feel,
looks-wise and
sound,
feel.
everything. Apart from obviously this has got jailbreak, which I have to trust in the new face. I'm feeling like this is just my Epic Freewood, which I did really like. And I really like this one. I could totally game this
So
all day long.
we talked about in the driver side of it. We said that the Epic driver, the new Flash driver, was sounding just that little bit louder than maybe the previous model.
Yeah, I'm not getting that with this.
You're not feeling that with that, so
No, this just feels the same to me, which I like. Oh, that's a little duffy, but I reckon it was a really
Little
short
low
carry.
spinner?
Hit 1.6.
yeah.
Let's look at those numbers and then do the sub, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do numbers for the standard one then. Dan, you were really good. So you were 234 average carry.
That's good for me.
Top one going out at 238, which is great.
Yeah.
You were spinning at 38. Pretty good. Numbers for a 3-wood. Strike pattern was very nice, centered, one slightly high. Very good, which is the longest one you hit. I'm 227. If I take out my 210, it goes to 232. So if you take my miss hit out there, we're kind of about the same.
Is that about where you're at? That's
230 to 240 is a 3-wood for me, dry tested.
Okay.
I am spinning, if I leave the miss hit out, I'm spinning at 3,000 to your 3.8.
Yeah.
I did get one spinning at 2.4, but I am known for, I can get bullet ball 3-woods, low spinning free. I can puff them up in the air, but I can also get the really bullet one, which is in there. I mean, the miss it I got spun at 1.5, which I think is quite hilarious. The face obviously isn't quite optimised for there, and if you look where I hit it.
Oh, hang on.
Are we calling that bad?
Yeah, that was right in the middle, wasn't it?
Well, for me it is, yeah, I agree. And I caught the ground, so there'll be some speed loss. Again, I'm not saying the face, I just need to do, I'm going to speak to them about the face more. I want to be able to explain it to people, including students, including people who watch. I don't like the fact, I don't like tech that I can't explain. I don't like having tech where you just go, it's got this. You know, I like to know. Very good numbers. So in theory, what I'm worried about, which we'll see now, is if we go to sub-zero, I've got no spin to take off.
Yeah.
I think you could get more out of sub if you get similar strikes. It'd be interesting to see if the consistency stays the same. Let's hit it. Sub-zero, looking down, bigger, smaller. How does it look?
Smaller profile now.
Okay.
And
is it deeper, and that's why it's smaller, or not?
That's interesting. So we've got,
because obviously I'm not
what
sure.
we've got
We've
now
done a
is
lot
we've
of
got-
reviews, and I'm not sure you're quite getting my
What I'm saying.
CC.
yeah, I know what you're
Remark.
saying. Deep, and then
So
you
you
can go
think,
deeper.
I always think, simple way of thinking about it, if you had a tube of water,
Yeah.
which was that big,
Yeah.
you look down at it, it would look that big, but if it went up to the ceiling, it might be 460 cc's of water.
Which
If
is
you
the same
then,
as then like
correct,
a bucket.
if you then put a film of water that thin on the ground, 460 cc's, it would cover the floor.
Yes. I
So
know what you're saying.
footprint, so size isn't footprint, you see what I mean?
So I'm feeling that there's it's slightly deeper here
Yeah, which
In
is
the
then
sub
allowing them to... Yeah.
compared to the standard one, which is pretty neutral way across. Interesting though. Oh, there's a little groove there.
Yeah.
But that is grooved. That's got grooves now. Where's that little? It's still
I
got
don't-
flash face, but not.
I don't
Visually.
find that... Oh, I see what you mean, yeah, so the visuals are
Visuals are different.
the groove on a fairways are going to do next to nothing. As
Why
in,
would they put it on that one there and not this one then?
Maybe good players don't want to see
That's the
Tron graphics.
Okay.
You don't know what Tron is, do you?
No.
Probably some Star Wars thing or something.
It's a film. people down this camera,
Well, no.
hit the thumbs up if you know what Tron is, and post a comment if you know what Tron is. Like, there's 2 versions of this film, and it was quite groundbreaking when
What
the
year
first
was
one
it?
came out.
What year did it come
Well,
out?
the first one was when I was a kid, and then there was a remake with Jeff Bridges, which was average, but had Daft Punk soundtrack and stuff, which made it quite cool.
With Jeff Bridges?
Oh, I don't even know Jeff Bridges. Right.
How old is you, bruh?
It's not about being. It's not about. I can't handle this. Why are golfers just. Why? Why do I surround myself with golfers? Just get out and, like. Culture's a real thing, you know? So I think it might be a visual thing. I might be wrong, but I think the tour players putting that down and going, I want to see what I've seen all the time. I don't want your graphics, I want groove.
I mean, I've got to say,
Alignment.
looking down,
Yeah.
now looking down between the two of them, I feel like I can align up the sub
Yeah.
possibly a little bit better than I can align up the face of the standard flash.
Okay, let's hit and see then.
Let's hit a few.
Sub-Zero being hit by uncultured Dan.
I'll tell you what someone did ask us today.
Still going.
Someone said, you know when you...
Hang on. If you're one of the people that watch reviews, right, and you just want to switch shots, stop talking. Hit more shots. Hit more shots. Go and we don't always do that. Sometimes we chat.
So I was watching your America trip
All right.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was that a Jurassic sounded like it was in Jurassic
Oh
Park.
yeah.
Sandhill crane bird was making that noise.
We saw them fly off. Was that those two?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah.
They're just all over all the Florida golf courses when I used to play out there.
I reckon
Quite
Mr.
noisy.
Llewellyn thought it was Jurassic Park. That's why he had such an incident around his posterior placements. He lined it again.
Oh, low neck on the line, isn't it?
It was a heavy one, but it's good.
Oh, it's still out there, isn't it?
Damn. Sound difference or not?
Stretching. Yeah, now it's starting to become a little bit thuddier.
Okay.
It's still a nice sound, but it's just a little bit possibly quieter on the acoustics than the standard one.
Okay. So you would be able to tell this is a Sub-Zero blind tested, I guess, because you would look at the
probably
size,
on
you
the
think the sound and...
Probably just the feel and the sound off of it, I can start to feel that this is a little bit thuddier, and it's definitely, yeah. If
Okay.
I'd seen them both before.
Yeah, and again, this club we've got the same loft, 15 is it?
15 set at neutral, but then we've got now
Yeah,
the
and
weight.
I presume, is this shaft exactly the same or slightly heavier?
No, exactly the same.
I reckon it'll be heavier, it generally
No.
is in a sub.
No, it's the same one, 70 grams.
Oh, that will please all the
70
sharp
grams,
ones,
smoke, another smoke.
Hazardous smokes in everything. Yes, so it's exactly the same shaft and head and grip.
Yep.
And then what do you think of the aligned grip, which we're also seeing on these as well?
Again, I've said it in the previous review that we did for the drivers. I think this works really well for this particular club because of the way they've got that neck, which I think
Yeah.
Callaway do such a good job on this.
So they move it, but
They
the grip
can-
won't move.
The grip, you can keep the grip and the shaft in the position that you want it, and then still change the neck to the settings that you need, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I know. It's
What are
interesting.
you
isn't
seeing
it?
there?
Can't work it out.
Is it definitely looking
It
smaller?
looks bigger. It does look smaller.
The sub looks smaller than the
But
standard.
you see more face of the standard. You see less face of the sub, which I can't work out because they're the same loft.
Looks deeper, the standard, from my angle.
That's what I think
down,
as well.
yeah.
I think the standard looks deeper, but that's
Yeah.
why I can see more face. And maybe I can just see more face. Are they the same colour, the faces? See, I think that face is like off grey, blacker, and this is more silver chromed. It is. You seeing that? The face isn't the same colour, is it?
Matt, what do you think? What are you saying?
This is
I've
lighter.
I've got good eyes, and that doesn't look different, the grey bit to me.
You don't think
Might
there?
look-
Look, hang on, look there, and then look up here. This looks like a mirror. That looks like it's black.
I think it's in the light you've got that, possibly.
Yeah, I agree. So if I turn them there, I still see that as darker than that. That in that
There is
light,
more
definitely.
reflection off this one.
Totally.
But I don't think the colour's different.
So I think the more reflection makes me see more face on the standard,
Yeah.
which I think good players will. You know, good players don't want to see loads of face on a 3-wood. Your stronger hitter, good players always scared of a 3-wood ballooning in the air.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it, because I'm not particularly high hitting, so I like one that gets up in the air. They like to see fairway woods as a general rule that are more like bomby out there. Matt's got his hand up. Hang on.
Dan's got his hand up.
I'm coming.
Right, so, okay, so you talk about that, but when you cut into a face like they've done here,
Oh, where's he going? Yeah, go on.
okay, surely there has to be some type of depth difference. Because if you're cutting down into a metal
Dan,
material...
so what a good point Dan is making. So this is where, what's so funny with that question, you are actually highlighting my frustrations at the start of this video that you were all laughing at. I can't answer you because I don't understand the face enough. No one does. Not even the website understands the face enough, because if you read what they say about it, they just say it works. They don't really say how it works. So this is where I don't like not knowing how it works, because when
what I'm
someone
saying?
who thinks about it asks a question,
Yeah,
which is a good question,
good question, because they
I can't
got
answer
faces thinner, really, don't they?
That's what I'm
apparently?
thinking, is this one,
But
because
that-
they can't cut into this one, is this one playing it at a slightly thin, and you're seeing a difference in colour, so that would say that,
And is that why
Is there a
sounds are
difference?
different too?
and my sounds are different.
it's like a journey of discovery.
Groundbreaking
And
stuff, isn't it?
So, good question, Dan. Can't answer. I will do investigations. So let's look at my numbers for Sub-Zero as well. I definitely think it looks smaller. I wouldn't game this. I'm scared I just want a bit more help and a bit more launch with my fairway. It'd be interesting to see if the dynamic loft is any different actually with these two. Feels slightly duller but feels nice.
Yeah.
But I can already see my spin down there at 1.9. I hit that well. This is where I struggle with the low, because I'm a low spinning fairway wood player. This just isn't gonna. This will give me my long. This does what low spin does. Gives me my longest hits, but I get too many dropouts, so my average is just too dispersed, short or long, left and right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a fairway wood spinner up at 5,000, 4,500 revs, this makes total sense. Drop maybe, I'm guessing 300 or 500 revs off this between this and the standard. I definitely prefer the graphics on the standard to the sub. I like the way that frames with the Tron graphics compared to this one. Not that you know what Tron is, but if you look it up, you would know. You might even have liked it as a kid. It's quite a big film.
What I felt with that face on the standard one was that sort of circular bit in the middle.
Yeah.
I could put that, really frame that into the ball.
Yeah, well, that's what I quite like.
Yeah, whereas this one, not so much.
I hit that good.
No.
Good spin. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we are.
Oh, it's there.
Dave.
Oh!
Wow, that was close.
Woo! But I guess if Toy Story is your favourite film, this is a kind of discussion.
Overload, actually. Overload. Oh, you were all over it.
Finding Nemo, actually, bro. Oh, you're right over there, Matt?
Yeah, you're right.
Just trying to test this one. Another nice one. I reckon we should look at these numbers. I'm interested.
Sounds different from.
Yeah, well, I think again, your good players will like that slightly duller sound.
Yeah.
I would always go standard over those two, just because I've got experience of these. But plenty of people out there who could use that. I mean, loads of tech for a Sub-Zero fairway wood. I think it's as good as anything, isn't there? Right, Dan, you average 237. With the standard Epic, you average 234.
So a little bit hot.
Standard Epic, you were 3.8 spin. With the sub fairway, you're 3.5. 300 revs.
Yeah, it's good.
You're hitting it consistently. I would see that test coming through. I was 233 with this one, the sub, and with the standard I was 227. So a similar little step forwards. 2.6 spin with standard. With sub 2.9.
That's interesting. Did you catch any a little bit?
So basically, I just struck them in a different spot, and the 300 revs disappeared. The difference in those two tests is that I would say your strike tolerance was tighter on the 12.8 hits that we did than mine. So you show the 300 revs.
Okay.
My strike on those, I had that miss it in the other one, has just skewed a little bit.
Yeah. So
that 300 revs disappears. The whole point of reviews I've done for 10 years. Yeah. Your strike rules, it takes over, it dictates. You would use the lower spinning club because it's going to help you more than it hinders you. It isn't the answer. They're just really good consistent numbers with both. I mean, I got one of my subs spinning at 1.9. Look at my strikes. Look.
How do you feel about that?
This is what's so interesting. I say this time and time again. Test for miss hits. Get an average golfer to try it. You're not going to see anything apart from what they do. It isn't going to show the club.
No.
It's not going to show what the club does. It'll show what they do. It baffles me. You could build a club around a mass population hitting in a certain area. So companies like Ping have told me they hit thousands of shots with random handicapped golfers, look for patterns in where they're hitting it in shot shapes, and then build a club around that. But it's nuance, it's tiny little bits that they're changing. So I'm striking it there on those shots, and I'm varying strike from 1.9 up to 3.5. 1,300 revs variation on those strikes, and then obviously you've got face to pass and everything else to work in there, which isn't moving that much. Yeah. Basically, it's 300 revs, which you will see in a year into a par 5, you'll get that bullet ball one 10 times if you play every week.
Yeah.
That's what you're buying. You're buying that advantage, and we can work that as a percentage, and I'm not good at that, but let's say that's 0.25% better off for you. But then you might easily mishit it and then have 20 occasions where it drops out the air and you lose. So it's doing those kind of maths. Both of those, I'm going to go for the one I like the look of, the one that frames it better with the slightly looking bigger head in the face, and the one that I feel I can game more, which is why if we could, we often take these out on the course just to try and make that point. Which one would you game, Dan? Or could you game either of them? Where would you stand?
I would take the standard Flash over the Sub-Zero.
Okay, yeah,
Definitely
and you
for me.
got good numbers with both. Just because you feel you'd get more consistent numbers when you are
I like that bigger profile of the
Okay.
head looking down. The smaller profile just shakes me a little bit, so definitely liking and I like the framing of, like you talked about there, with that little circular disc in there. I really like that.
So Matt, you'll be having one of these when you're going to go and get fitted and stuff.
Yeah.
You haven't had time to do it yet.
Yeah.
Obviously Matt's contracted to Callaway, so do whatever you want. It's still his opinion on which one he would use. Where would you go? Because you're not a massive freewood player.
No, I don't know yet. I'm going to see what the numbers say and things
Yeah.
like that, because I also think that twisting those weights around in the Sub-Zero might be an option, because I like the look of the grooves on that one.
Yeah, so
basically.
again, you're going to wait till you fit,
Yeah.
which is a good answer. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. Which one would you test and why? Would you test an Epic Flash or not? When did you last buy a new freewood as well? Let us know in those comments down below. The freewood reviews get far less views than the driver reviews. It sums up, in my opinion, what the audience are thinking, which I think is a shame. I use my freewood a lot on a round, and I need it to be in the right place. You should be testing these in the same way that you're thinking of testing your drivers, and you should be using the same kind of logic, emotion and feel that you're using when you're buying your drivers. Post comments down below. When did you last test a freewood?